In today's lecture, we will be discussing advisory board. Okay, so let's see what is advisory board all about. But prior to that, we will be revising the Minimum Wages Act as well as the provisions which are included into Minimum Wages Act, and then we will go through advisory board. Okay, getting it? असतो. ओके, तर हे जे काम करतात, ओके, हे जे मजूर किंवा हे जे कामगार काम करतात, जर त्यांनी काम केलं नाही तर तुमची जी प्रोडक्शन ॲक्टिव्हिटी आहे, म्हणजेच तुमच्या ऑर्गनायझेशनची प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस जी आहे ती कंप्लीट होऊ शकणार नाही. त्यामुळेच ओके, जेव्हा आपण ह्या व्यक्तीला एखादं काम देतो तेव्हाच त्या कामाबद्दल त्याला आपण मोबदला देतो आणि त्या मोबदलेलाच त्या मोबदल्यालाच काय म्हटलं जातं, इंग्लिशमध्ये वेज असं म्हटलं जातं. ओके, आता बघा, एक 50-60 वर्षापूर्वीची गोष्ट जेव्हा कोणत्याही प्रकारचे कायदे नव्हते, ओके, किंवा कोणत्याही प्रकारे जे कामगार आहेत किंवा जे मजूर आहेत ते इलिटरेट असल्यामुळे, अशिक्षित असल्यामुळे त्यांच्यावरती एक्सप्लॉयटेशन व्हायचं. म्हणजे काय व्हायचं बघा, की हे जे मजूर आहेत किंवा हे जे कामगार आहेत ते दिवस जवळजवळ 20-20 तास, 18-18 तास काम करायचे आणि 18 ते 20 तास काम करूनसुद्धा ओके त्यांना जे वेजेस मिळायचे ते खूपच कमी असायचे. जे 2-3 तास काम करणाऱ्या व्यक्तीला मिळाले पाहिजेत तेवढे वेजेस त्यांना 18-18 तास काम करूनसुद्धा मिळत नव्हते. ओके, याच्यामुळे काय व्हायचं की कुठेतरी हे जे मजूर आहेत त्यांचं शोषण होतं, एक्सप्लॉयटेशन होतं. ओके, हे जे ट्रेड युनियन्स आहेत, कामगार संघटना जे आहेत, त्या सर्वांना ते कळालं. ओके, किंवा बघा, जेव्हा आपण वेजेसचा विचार करतो, वेजेस प्रत्येक व्यक्ती जो फॅक्टरीमध्ये काम करतो त्याला युनिफॉर्म वेजेस मिळतात का, म्हणजे एकसारखे वेजेस मिळतात का, नाही. ओके, बघा, काही वर्कर्स जे आहेत त्या वर्कर्सचं सुद्धा रिक्लासिफिकेशन केलं जातं. बघा, जे ब्लू कलर वर्कर्स आहेत त्यांचंसुद्धा रिक्लासिफिकेशन केलं जातं. कसं केलं जातं, 3 प्रकारे केलं जातं. ओके, कोणते आहेत ते 3 प्रकार? स्किल्ड वर्कर्स, अनस्किल्ड वर्कर्स अँड सेमी स्किल्ड वर्कर्स. ओके, so when we consider the reclassification of blue collar workers, okay, the blue collar workers, they are also divided into 3 parts. Okay, which are these 3 parts? Yes, the 3 parts itself are, okay, the 3 parts itself are, what are the 3 parts? Yes, the 3 parts itself are, yes, skilled laborers, semi-skilled laborers and unskilled laborers. Means the skilled laborers are those people who know everything or who are talented into the skills, or they have acquired many more skills which are required for the production activities. So we group these people into the title skilled workers. Okay, the second part is unskilled workers. Okay, the second part is unskilled workers. Okay, who are the unskilled workers? Yes, those people who lack in skills, and knowledge. Okay, they are grouped under the title unskilled laborers or unskilled workers. Okay, and the third part is semi-skilled workers. Okay, means 50-50. Okay, some of the skills they are having, some of the skills they are lagging behind. Okay, so when we consider these 3 types of workers, okay, that is skilled laborers, unskilled laborers and semi-skilled laborers. See, as per the skills which they have acquired or which they know, as per the skills which they have acquired and which they know. Okay, these people, what they do, Yes, as per the skill which they have acquired, okay, these people usually are paid wages differently. Means what? Okay, the wages which are paid to these people, the wages which are paid to these people, it is different in the sense, okay, means the skilled laborers, they are highly paid, the semi-skilled laborers, they are moderately paid, okay, and when we consider unskilled laborers, they are, yes, they are, the wages which are paid to them, they are lower or they are less, okay. So when we consider such kind of discriminancy into the payment of wages, yes, so let's see what is the introduction of minimum wages act. See, the minimum wages act is to fix minimum wages to the workers, including skilled or unskilled workers in the industry. See, what is minimum wages act? Yes, minimum wages act is a act which is passed to fix, yes, to fix the minimum wages to the workers, including skilled or unskilled workers in the industry. Okay, see what happens. See, there is a discrepancy, right? There is a discrepancy made into the payment of wages. Is it? Means when we consider skilled laborers, when we consider unskilled laborers, when we consider semi-skilled workers, is it? All these three workers, they are differently paid in some of the factories, okay, based on the skills, based on the knowledge, based on the target which they complete, okay, they are paid differently, okay. So when we come across minimum wages act, why minimum wages act? Yes, minimum wages act itself is passed to fix minimum wages to the workers, including skilled or unskilled workers in the industry. Means when we come across the minimum wages act, why minimum wages act? Yes, minimum wages act itself is passed to fix minimum wages to the workers, including skilled or unskilled workers in the industry. ओके, बघा, जेव्हा आपण मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्टचा विचार करतो, ओके, का मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट पास केलेला आहे, ओके, तर रिझन त्याच्यामागे एवढंच आहे की, ओके, जे स्किल्ड लेबरर्स आहेत, जे अनस्किल्ड लेबरर्स आहेत, त्यांना किमान ओके ठराविक मिनिमम वेजेस मिळावेत, हाच उद्देश गृहीत धरून मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट पास केलेला आहे. ओके, द ॲक्ट केम इन टू फोर्स आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड इन 1948. ओके, when this act came into force? Yes, the act came into force after World War II in 1948. Okay, India is one of the developing countries with a number of unemployed. Therefore, the employers exploit the manual laborers by fixing low wages, which is insufficient to meet their daily needs and medical expenses. Okay, see, when we consider our country India, yes, India is one of the developing country, okay, and when we consider the problems prevailing into our country, unemployment is one of the most severe problem. Okay, unemployment is the most severe problem into our country. Okay, so when it comes to unemployment, okay, and when we consider the mentality of the employers. Okay, what employers do? Yes, the employers exploit the manual laborers by fixing low wages which is insufficient to meet their daily needs and medical expenses. Okay, see, as we know, the techniques which are used for completing the production process, okay, it is also divided into two parts. Okay, you are aware about those two parts. First part is labor intensive technique and second one is capital intensive technique. So when we go through labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique, what is it? Yes, when we consider the labor intensive technique, okay, when we consider the labor intensive technique, okay, see, the countries, okay, the countries where the labor force, okay, the labor force, it is available in abundant quantity. Is it? Whenever we consider some of the countries where the labor force, that is the human resource, it is available in abundant quantity, okay, such type of countries, they focus on, okay, primarily they focus on labor intensive technique. Okay, getting it? Then the countries, okay, usually the developed countries, okay, where the human resources, they are available into limited quantity. The human resources, they are available into limited quantity. Such type of nations, they focus on capital intensive technique. Okay, means what? Okay, in labor intensive technique, what is done? Okay, more use of laborers for completing the production activity, it is done. Okay, and when we consider capital intensive technique, at the time, more use of technology, more use of machineries, it is used to complete the production activity. Getting it? Okay, so when we come across such type of techniques, okay, see, those countries in which population or human resources, they are abundant in quantity like our country, is it, they usually focus on labor intensive technique. So as the employers, they know that, okay, the labor force is available in plenty of amount. Okay, what they do? Yes, they do exploit the laborers by paying minimum wages or by paying low wages. Okay, means they ask the laborers or the workers to work for long hours. Okay, they ask the laborers to work for long hours, and yes, then what they do? Yes, they pay less amount, is it, and they pay low wages such that, okay, they are that insufficient, okay, they can't meet the daily needs and medical needs of the workers. Okay, hence the legislature enacted a law to prohibit the payment of wages below the employee's subsistence level. Okay, so what the legislature did? Yes, the legislature, okay, enacted a law to prohibit, okay, to prohibit the payment of wages, okay, to prohibit the payment of wages. Okay, getting it? So the wages provided by the employers to the workers should be following the Minimum Wages Act 1948. Okay, means any employer, if they have a question before them, okay, what is the question? The question is that, okay, how much the employer is supposed to be paid. Okay, how much the employer is supposed to be paid. Okay, if this is the question, okay, if this is the question before the employer, then what he should be doing? Yes, he should refer to Minimum Wages Act 1948. Okay, the act is considered to be a violation of Article 19(1)(g) of the Indian Constitution in the eyes of the employers, but the Supreme Court ruled that act is based on the directive principle of state policy provided under Article 43 of Indian Constitution. Okay, see, when we do consider minimum wages, what minimum wages means or why this act is passed. Okay, का मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट पास झालेला आहे बघा. ओके ओके ह्या ॲक्टनुसार मिनिमम वेज वर्कर्सला किती दिले पाहिजेत हे फिक्स केलं जातं. कारण की आधी काय व्हायचं तर जे स्किल्ड लेबरर्स आणि अनस्किल्ड लेबरर्स असतील, ओके, त्यांना जे वेजेस पे केले जायचे, ओके, त्याच्यामध्ये डिफरन्स व्हायचा. ओके, आणि हे जे अनस्किल्ड लेबरर्स आहेत, ओके, त्यांना जे वेजेस पे करायचे एम्प्लॉयर्स, ओके, ते इतके लो असायचे की त्यांना साधं त्यांचे हेल्थ और मेडिकल एक्सपेन्सेस जे असतील आणि जे बेसिक और डेली नीड्स असतील हे सुद्धा त्या वेजेसच्या अमाऊंटमधून एक्सपेंड करता यायचं नाही. ओके, म्हणून 1948मध्ये, ओके, वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड नंतर 1948मध्ये हे जे ॲक्ट आहे मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट, तो ॲक्ट अस्तित्वात आला. ओके, बघा, जेव्हा आपण आपल्या भारताचा विचार करतो, आपल्या देशाचा विचार करतो, तेव्हा ओके भारत एक डेव्हलपिंग कंट्री आहे. ओके, आणि एक प्रॉब्लेम जो आपल्या कंट्रीमध्ये प्रिव्हिलिंग आहे तो म्हणजे अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. कारण की जेव्हा आपण लेबर फोर्स किंवा पॉप्युलेशनचा विचार करतो, तसेच लोकसंख्येचा जेव्हा विचार करतो, ओके, भारताची लोकसंख्या फार असल्यामुळे, ओके, ह्युमन रिसोर्स किंवा लेबरर्सची अवेलेबिलिटीसुद्धा तेवढीच आहे. ओके, त्यामुळे हे जे एम्प्लॉयर्स आहेत त्यांना माहिती आहे की काही झालं तर लेबर फोर्स आपल्याला ॲडेक्वेट अमाऊंटमध्ये, ॲबंडंट अमाऊंटमध्ये मिळणार आहे. त्यामुळे ते काय करतात की लेबरर्सची अपॉइंटमेंट करतात आणि त्यांना जे मजुरी म्हणजेच वेजेस जी पे केली जाते ती खूपच कमी असते. ओके, ज्या अमाऊंटमधून ते साधं त्यांचे मेडिकल एक्सपेन्सेस जे असतील आणि जे ओके डेली एक्सपेन्सेस असतील हे सुद्धा ते व्यवस्थित करू शकत नाहीत. ओके, त्यामुळे लेजिस्लेचरने हा जो लॉ आहे मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट हा एस्टॅब्लिश केला. ओके, जेणेकरून ओके जे वेजेस त्या स्किल्ड ॲज वेल ॲज अनस्किल्ड वर्कर्सला मिळतील ते ॲटलिस्ट त्याला जेवढे हवेत किंवा त्याला जेवढे गरजेचे आहेत तेवढे तरी मिळावे या अपेक्षेने. ओके, म्हणजे समजा एखाद्या एम्प्लॉयरच्या समोर समजा हा क्वेश्चन असेल, म्हणजे किती वेजेस पे करावेत, हा जर क्वेश्चन त्याच्या मनामध्ये असेल तर त्याने काय करायचं आहे की मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्ट 1948 जे आहे ते रेफर करायचं आहे. So let's see the history of Act. In 1919, the International Labour Organization highlighted the importance of minimum wages as a part of Treaty of Versailles. Okay, the concept of minimum wages was evolved to protect the workers against exploitation by the employers. Okay, the workers get wages substantially low when compared to other industry workers. Hence, it became a crisis between the workers. The first major provision which is covered under the Minimum Wages Act is fixing of minimum rates of wages. Okay, what it means? Yes, it means that the minimum rates of wages, they are to be fixed. Means, see, what do you mean by minimum rate of wage? Okay, see, a person, an individual, whenever he needs to survive, whenever he needs to expend his wages, okay, he needs to expend, okay, for his living, his wages, they should be that appropriate. His wages should be that appropriate. Means what? See, the minimum rates of wages means what? Yes, the minimum rates of wages means the minimum rates of wages itself means that, see, when we consider a worker, an employee, okay, to safeguard his needs, to do his expenditure, okay, for the living itself, okay, he needs to, he needs to be given some of the fair wages. So what fair wages are to be given to this person? Okay, it is included in fixing of minimum rate of wages. Means, for making the basic expenditure and the health expenditure or medical expenditure, how much money is required? Considering this, the minimum rate of wages, they are fixed. Okay, getting it? Then the minimum rate of wages. See, how much the minimum rate of wages is to be paid. It is fixed. Okay, it is fixed. Getting it? Then the procedure for fixing and revising minimum wages. Yes, procedure for fixing and revising minimum wages. What it means? Yes, it means that timely, as per the changes in the market, timely as per the changes in the market. What you are required to do? Yes, you are required to fix as well as revise the minimum wages. You are required to fix as well as, you are required to revise minimum wages. Okay, then you are required to appoint an advisory board. Yes, you are required to appoint an advisory board. What is the advisory board? Yes, advisory board is a board comprising of both the representatives of employer as well as employee. Okay, why this advisory board is appointed? Yes, the objective behind appointment of such type of advisory board itself is to, yes, while determining the rate, that is minimum wages, is it, both should be having a active involvement, okay, and they should be able to put forth their part of, yes, their part of, is it their viewpoint related to it. Then central advisory board, okay, one of the provision which is covered under the minimum wages act itself is, yes, central advisory board, okay, appointment of central or formation of central advisory board. Then corrections of errors, okay, if there are any errors into the fixing or revising minimum wage, then it is corrected. Then payment of minimum rate of wages, payment of minimum rates of wages. What it means? Yes, it means that how much the minimum rate is to be paid and assuring that the minimum rate of wages it is paid to the employee, okay. Then fixing hours for a normal working day, okay, means what should be the working hour, how much it should be, okay, it is fixed for a normal working day. Yes, it is fixed for a normal working day. Okay, getting it? Then the overtime facility, it is also described into minimum wages act, means what is overtime and how much should be the overtime. And then the wages for a worker who work less than the normal hours, okay, if a person works for a less period than the normal hours, then how much wages should be paid to him, this is also fixed under the major provisions. Then wages for 2 or more classes of work, okay, if there are difference into the working pattern or nature of work, okay, what should be the wages for the said thing. Then minimum time rate wages for piecework, okay, what it means? Yes, it means that if a person if a person is working if a person is working for or on piece rate basis, then what minimum wages should be paid to him. Then maintenance of registers and records related to wages and related to employees. Then appointment of inspectors, claims, penalties for certain offenses, okay, means if something wrong is committed by the employer, okay, if something wrong is committed by the employer, then that is also included into major provisions covered under the act. Okay, getting it. Then general provisions for punishment of other offenses. If other offenses they are committed into the industry which are related to the workers, okay, that are also covered under major provisions under this act. Then cognizance of offenses, okay, cognizance of offenses. What it means? If someone commits some offenses, then the punishments or penalties which should be charged, they are also included in major provisions under this act. Then bar of suits. What is bar of suits? Yes, the penalties, the code of conduct, it is also laid down under this act. Then exemptions and exceptions. What should be the exemptions and what should be the exceptions? Those are also included under this act. Okay, then बघा, जेव्हा आपण मेजर प्रोव्हिजन्स मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्टच्या प्रोव्हिजन्सचा विचार करतो तेव्हा कोणकोणत्या गोष्टी येतात बघा. मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्टच्या अंडर कोणकोणत्या गोष्टींचं प्रोव्हिजन केलं जातं. एक म्हणजे फिक्सिंग ऑफ मिनिमम रेट्स. ओके, फिक्सिंग ऑफ मिनिमम रेट्स. म्हणजे मिनिमम वेजेस किती असले पाहिजे हे तिथे फिक्स केलं जातं. देन मिनिमम वेजेस दिले जातात की नाही हे एन्श्योर केले जातात. देन समजा वेजेस रिवाईज करायचे असतील तर ते फिक्स कसे करायचे आणि रिवाईज कसे करायचे. ओके, या दोन्हीचे प्रोव्हिजन्स केले जातात, प्रोसिजर केली जाते. त्यानंतर ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड. ओके, ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड म्हणजे नेमकं काय? मग का ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड म्हणजे ओके एक बोर्ड असतो ज्याच्यामध्ये एम्प्लॉयर आणि एम्प्लॉई दोघांचेही रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स अपॉइंट केले जातात. ओके, तसे ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड फॉर्म करणे, सेंट्रल ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड फॉर्म करणे, करेक्शन्स ऑफ एरर्स. ओके, समजा एखादी एरर असेल ती करेक्ट करणे, पेमेंट ऑफ मिनिमम रेट्स ऑफ वेजेस. ओके, मिनिमम वेजेस दिले जात आहेत की नाही ते ॲश्युअर करणे, फिक्सिंग आवर्स फॉर अ नॉर्मल वर्किंग डे. एका दिवसामध्ये किती तास काम केलं जायचे हे फिक्स केलं जातं. त्यानंतर ओव्हरटाईम फॅसिलिटी दिली पाहिजे का, किती दिली पाहिजे हे सुद्धा ते फिक्स केलं जातं. देन वेजेस फॉर अ वर्कर हू वर्क लेस दॅन नॉर्मल आवर्स. जे वर्कर्स नॉर्मल आवर्सपेक्षा कमी कालावधीसाठी काम करतात, ओके, त्या वर्कर्सना किती वेज दिले पाहिजेत, ओके. 2 किंवा जास्त नेचर ऑफ वर्क असेल तर त्यांना किती वेजेस दिले पाहिजेत, ओके. रजिस्टर अँड रेकॉर्ड मेंटेन केले पाहिजेत. इन्स्पेक्टर्स, क्लेम्स, पेनल्टीज, ऑफेन्सेससाठी किती असली पाहिजे, ओके. एक्झम्पशन्स आणि एक्सेप्शन्ससुद्धा त्याचीसुद्धा प्रोव्हिजन्स आहे ह्या ॲक्ट अंडर. आफ्टर डिस्कसिंग द मिनिमम वेजेस as well as the provisions given under Minimum Wages Act, okay, let's move towards advisory board. So what is advisory board? See, as per the section 7 of Minimum Wages Act, the advisory board which proposes recommendations and changes to be brought in labor laws. The advisory board proposes a recommendation to the state and central government in fixing the minimum wages. See, as per the section 7, okay, see, as per the section 7 of Minimum Wages Act, okay, as per the section 7 of the Minimum Wages Act. What is included in section 7 of Minimum Wages Act? Yes, we have also gone through in the provisions. Advisory board. Okay, what is advisory board? Advisory board, see, the provision related to advisory board, it is made into Minimum Wages Act. Okay. See, this board, why it is formed? Yes, to make some recommendations, to make some changes. Is it? See, whenever we consider the labor laws, okay, the laws related to labor, okay, some of the provisions, some of the recommendations, they are to be made, okay, some of the recommendations, they are to be made, some of the changes, they are to be brought. Is it? So when we consider some recommendations and changes to be brought in labor laws, okay, for this itself, considering this motive itself, the advisory board, it is set up or it is formed. Okay, getting it? The advisory board proposes a recommendation to the state and central government in fixing the minimum wages. See what is mentioned into here. Yes, the advisory board, what it does? Yes, it proposes recommendations. Okay, some of the recommendations, some of the suggestions, they are provided by this advisory board to the state and central government. Okay, related to what? Related to the minimum wages fixation. Okay, something related to minimum wages fixation, it is made into such type of advisory board. Okay, see, who is permitting? Yes, the Minimum Wages Act, it's section 7, it is permitting that, or it is instructing that, yes, there should be a advisory board which is to be formed. Okay, why it is to be formed? Yes, this advisory board, it proposes some recommendations and some changes, okay, to be brought in the labor laws. Okay, some of the recommendations and the changes, they are to be brought in what? Yes, they are to be brought in the labor laws. Okay, what is the motive behind it? Yes, the motive behind such type of labor laws itself, okay, or such type of advisory board is to make some changes in the labor laws. Okay, means some laws which protect the laborers. Okay, some laws which protect the laborers. Okay, related to this, some of the provisions, they are to be made. Okay, some of the provisions, they are to be made, and that are included in, yes, advisory board, which is permitted by Minimum Wages Act. It's section number 7. Okay, getting it? So the advisory board proposes a recommendation to the state and central government. Okay, see what the advisory board does. Yes, it suggests a recommendation, okay, it suggests a recommendation to the state and central government in fixing the minimum wages, okay, in fixing the minimum wages. Means what should be the minimum wages, what should be the minimum wages, okay, and how to fix it, okay. The recommendations related to this, they are made to the state and central government, okay. Who does this? The advisory board, okay. The advisory board does this, okay, getting it. So according to section 9 of the act, okay, further we are discussing the section 9 of minimum wages act, okay. See what according to section 9 of minimum wages act we want to think on. Yes, according to the section 9 of the act, yes, the section 9 talks about the appointment of committees and subcommittees, okay. Means what are the all committees and subcommittees they should be appointed, okay. Related to this directions are given unto the section number 9, okay. Section number 9 मध्ये डायरेक्शन्स दिलेत कशाशी रिलेटेड, कमिटीज आणि सबकमिटीशी रिलेटेड, ओके. म्हणजे मिनिमम वेजेस साठी कोणकोणते कमिटीज फॉर्म केली पाहिजेत आणि कोणकोणते सबकमिटीज फॉर्म केली पाहिजेत, ओके. रिलेटेड टू दिस डिरेक्शन्स दे आर गिवन इन टू सेक्शन नंबर 9, ओके. सी the included members are, means whenever we consider advisory board, who are the people or what is the composition of this advisory board? Let's see. Yes, a person appointed by the appropriate government, okay. A person appointed by the state or central government, is it? This is a person who is included in advisory board, who is the member of advisory board actually, okay. Then employers and employees, okay. Employers and employees. Who is employer? Employer is a person who gives job or who offers job, who is the owner of the company, okay. And employee is a person who performs different tasks into the organization. Yes, employee means the worker or a person to whom the employer offers a job, okay. So some employers and some employees who belong to scheduled employment and they shall be equal in number, okay. Means the board, okay, its title, okay, and related to it, okay, whatsoever might be the nature of such type of board, okay. Related to this, the employees, they are appointed into such type of advisory board, okay, getting it. Then independent persons, and they shall not exceed 1/3 of the total number of members. Yes, independent persons and they shall not exceed 1/3 of the total number of members, okay. See, 1/3 portion of the members, okay, they will be the members of advisory board, okay. And independent person will be appointed as chairman of the committee, okay. A person who is not concerned, okay, a person who is not concerned with the organization, that person will be, yes, the independent person will be the chairman of such type of advisory board, okay, getting it. So when we come across the advisory board, what is advisory board? Yes, advisory board means, yes, a board or a committee appointed under section 7 of minimum wages act, okay. बघा, जेव्हा आपण ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड याचा विचार करतो, ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड याचा विचार करतो, ओके. ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड म्हणजे काय? येस, ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड म्हणजे कमिटी आहे जी सेक्शन 7 मिनिमम वेजेस ॲक्टचा जो सेक्शन 7 आहे त्याच्या अंडर फॉर्म केलं जातं, आता ह्या बोर्डमध्ये कोण आहे, तर बरेचसे मेंबर्स आहेत. ओके, पहिल्यांदा हा बोर्ड काय एस्टॅब्लिश केला आहे हे बघूया. ओके, बघा हा जो बोर्ड आहे त्याच्या थ्रू रिकमेंडेशन्स आणि सजेशन्स दिले जातात. कोणाला दिले जातात, तर स्टेट अँड सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंटला. ओके, कशाबद्दल सजेशन्स आणि रिकमेंडेशन्स दिले जातात? येस, मिनिमम वेजेस किती असले पाहिजेत किंवा रिलेटेड गोष्टी ज्या आहेत त्याच्याशी रिलेटेड सजेशन्स आणि रिकमेंडेशन्स कोणाला दिले जातात, तर सेंट्रल आणि स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंटला दिले जातात. ओके, आता ह्याचं जे फॉर्मेशन आहे सेक्शन 9 अंडर जे कमिटीज आणि सब कमिटीज फॉर्म केले जातात त्याच्या अंडरच ॲडवायझरी बोर्डसुद्धा फॉर्म केला जातो. ओके, आता जेव्हा आपण ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड याचा विचार करतो तर त्याच्यामध्ये काही मेंबर्स असतात. ओके, कोण कोण असतात ते मेंबर्स ते बघूया किंवा त्यांचं नेचर ऑफ वर्क काय. तर एक ॲप्रोप्रिएट गव्हर्नमेंटचा नॉमिनी असतो, एक व्यक्ती, एक इंडिव्हिज्युअल. कोण असतो, तर ॲप्रोप्रिएट गव्हर्नमेंट, मे बी स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट, मे बी सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट, विच एव्हर इज ॲप्लिकेबल. ओके, त्यांचा एक रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह असतो, त्यांचा एक नॉमिनी असतो. ओके, सेकंड जे एम्प्लॉयर्स आणि एम्प्लॉईज आहेत, ओके, त्यांचे काही रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स असतात इक्वल नंबरमध्ये. म्हणजे समजा टोटल 10 मेंबर्स हवे असतील, जे 5 मेंबर्स जे असतील ते एम्प्लॉयर्सशी रिलेटेड असतील, 5 मेंबर्स जे असतील ते एम्प्लॉईजशी रिलेटेड असतील. म्हणजे दोघांचेही रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह इक्वल अमाऊंटमध्ये त्या बोर्डमध्ये घेतले जातात. ओके, देन इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन. बघा, एक इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन असतो ज्याचा ओके लांबपर्यंत या ऑर्गनायझेशनशी कोणत्याही प्रकारे रिलेशन नसतं असा व्यक्ती. जे तो कोण आहे? येस, तो इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन आहे. ओके, आता हा जो इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन आहे इज इट, तो कोण असतो, तर त्याला चेअरमॅन म्हणून अपॉइंट केलं जातं. कारण की बघा, समजा एखादा रिकमेंडेशन असेल, कोणाच्याही फेवरमध्ये तो असला नाही पाहिजे, तो रॅशनल असला पाहिजे. यासाठी म्हणून हा इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन अपॉइंट केला जातो. ओके, जेणेकरून ओके जोही तो निर्णय देईल किंवा जोही निर्णय घेतला जाईल तो कुठल्याही त्याच्यामध्ये पार्शल बिहेवियर नसलं पाहिजे, हे गृहीत धरून, हे ॲझ्युम करून अशा प्रकारे हा थर्ड व्यक्ती अपॉइंट केला जातो. सो कंपोजिशनचा जेव्हा विचार करतो आपण ॲडवायझरी बोर्डच्या, त्याच्यामध्ये कोण कोण आहे बघा. अ पर्सन अपॉइंटेड बाय अप्रोप्रिएट गव्हर्नमेंट, एम्प्लॉयर अँड एम्प्लॉईचे इक्वल रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स, आणि इंडिपेंडंट पर्सन हू इज ट्रीटेड ॲज द चेअरमॅन ऑफ सच टाईप ऑफ ॲडवायझरी बोर्ड. ओके.